Afternoon, everybody. Firstly, Fassie is injured and he's out for quite some time. And I think we were quite honest about Damien. He was struggling a bit with form, and we thought bringing him closer to the game at 12, where it can just be a little bit more instinctive. And that's the honest truth. We thought just bringing him back into it, and then into the game they got an injury, and he moved to 15, and he was just as comfortable. So, he's done many great things for us. People think he's young, but he's won World Cups and British and Irish Lions series, and so I think he's back to top form. Sometimes you just need one game to get you back there, and I think it's quite an obvious choice with Fassie. That one is always, I think people start thinking I'm just saying the things because it's a nice answer, but we really think that our players are really close to each other, and I know a lot of people try to sometimes say, no, not our people, but that we don't know who's our best team, and we like to know who's not our best team, and the guys are really competing well. We've given a little bit of continuity. This is a crunch game, but last weekend was a crunch game, and the previous game was a crunch game, and it will be like that for the rest of the year. We're only halfway now. So Mani played really well, but Sasha were awesome when he played there, and until he got the head knock, and he was good at 15 as well. He was there for a little while. And Andre is not in this team. We hope if things goes our way this week. It will be nice to change a little bit next week again, but first so Mani played awesome, but Mani's on the bench, and if things goes great, maybe give him a run and move Sasha during the game to 15 again, and maybe Gaza back to 12 and Andre to loose forward. So whatever happens in the game, let's hope it works out so we can experiment a little bit with a lot of respect for Argentina at the same time. There was a long time when Malcolm played off the bench and Bongi started, and Malcolm came and finished games and really changed the game for us, and there wasn't much to pick between Bongi and Malcolm. At this stage, I'll get to the World Cup answer now. At this stage, Bongi unfortunately had some illness in the family, and he's only really joined us now in the last weeks or so we will just get him up to speed again. But Sam Martinez did well, and Jan Hendrik covers too fast as well. And the same with Wilco, Wilco definitely, we all know, I think he's one of the world's best scrummers. Thomas is technically very good, but as you say, his mobility over the field, covering ground, handling that fast pace, which Argentina brought and New Zealand brought to us, and Argentina will bring. And then we, rightly or wrongly, we feel Wilco really brings that edge for us in scrums, but also then in general play when the game's a little bit slower. Well, it's both teams are obviously in the run for the Rugby Championship. I think they were really, really good. Lions game, Australia, both Australia games, I thought they could have won. And you've gone to Pomi and Filippo. I mean, he's my age. We're the same era. Lobbe is a great coach. I think he does the line-outs. They've got a high ball coach. I think Kingsley is his name. He's the Irish guy, and then they've got a New Zealander in there. Lynn, I think is his surname. So they've got a lot of experience and different cultures, and their team play all over the world. And you've got them organized, energetic, young guys, fearless, and with trying to, they will probably come and try and score 3 tries against us to try and be in the mix for the Rugby Championship. I think earlier this year we also had Damien and Kanan together. I'm not quite sure. I think so. But, Damien and Lucanio was a combo at one stage. Lucanio is coming back. The URC is playing. He's in the mix in a week or so. Kanan and Andre is a great combo. We enjoy Andre off the bench. But if you just look at the changes we've made, it's mostly injury forced. And we thought, Kanan really, when he's close to the ball, and I feel also make a little bit more instinctive calls where he doesn't have to stand there on a wing and work with the fullback and so on. I think he's again, like Damien, sometimes a really good instinctive player. And to have Damien Dalende come in whilst Andre Estres and I'm missing out, Jesse will play for us a lot more. So it's nice to try the combo shares. Now, we love Argentina. I know Augustine Pichot is a friend of mine. We're very close friends. And they've always stood by us when we need them, and I think we've stood by them when they needed us. As I said, I think our countries are very similar in certain ways. They've got a team, I know their club system is getting better. I wrongly last year said they don't have a good club system and their players are playing all over the world. And one of the guys explained to me how the club system worked there. But their players are they're sacrificing a hell of a lot. You know, they didn't even go back from Australia back home. They came straight here, and they're all over the world anyway before they come into camp. So there's also people who's desperate. They're not just on the rugby field, also off the rugby field. So as long as we can play against Argentina and with Argentina, and you see what they're doing this year. I know they're 5th or 6th on the log, but you know they can beat any team. They beat us last year, and as I said to previous answer, they're one of the teams since I've been involved 2018 that gave us one of the biggest hiding, I think 36-12 or something like that, away from home. So no, we love playing against them, and we think we're very similar in how we are as people. Yeah, I think the team we picked was definitely with Argentina in mind to try and win this game. You know, they're speedy, they're bouncy. They, you know, Sinti's a 7th player, Chocobaras. I mean, the Alvarez or Alva, I don't know how to say his surname exactly. I think he's back. The 9 is unbelievably pacey. The wingers are both pacey. You know, the fullback is so experienced. And they really got a well-balanced team and line-outs and everything. So we thought this team that we picked, not just for continuity from last week, even if we lost last week, I think the mix of this team, obviously, would have loved to have Luet still in the mix and was a big ask, should we pick Sos or not, and Franco in this game or not. But yeah, we think the youth that they have and the willingness to play from deep and the way they are aerially, you know, it's very similar to how we played at one stage, but yeah, they've got also this cutting-edge speed where there's a lot of 7s players. So I think this team is very much picked to try and beat Argentina. No, Stephen, it is. It's never nice being part. I mean, there's guys here that lost against Japan, and we're playing Japan a little bit later this year. You know, we couldn't go and break the Eden Park hoodoo. You know, but then we managed to put a big score in New Zealand. So these mini milestones sometimes get in the way of one's focus. And the realistic as it is stands today. Argentina beat us last year there. I know we've beaten us the first time here in South Africa, and a lot of our guys were part of that. But for us, it's a team that we think where they are now in 2018. We were probably there, and the next year we won the World Cup. So this is a very dangerous Argentinian team, and if we worry about when guys got some mental scars because they beat us before, I think all of us have been involved with them beating us. So no, we try not to chat too much about that, but we know it's a real threat from their side, Stephen. To know what the score is. Yeah. No, obviously we'll have a look at that. I mean, even at before the game in Wellington. Well, just before we had our team talk, you know, I was on the phone checking, because it does give you extra motivation if you know you're still in the mix or not. And with that last try Australia scored, you know, I think we would have been, yeah, they got 2 league points there. And but you could tell the players before the game, boys, we're in the mix. You know, we win this game, Rugby Championship's live. So we will definitely look at the score and what the score is there. But that wouldn't make a difference in our approach and how we've trained so far, last week, Friday, Saturday, and what we did yesterday and today. And yeah, so tomorrow's our last day. We really train, except for no captain's practice. But of course, we'll watch the score and maybe get a little bit more motivation and know exactly what we have to do in the game. No, we also get it wrong. We've won one, lost one, Australia, then won one, lost one to All Blacks. And I think the challenge with, not for me to speak on behalf of Argentina, it's just my opinion. I think the challenge is when you get players from all over the world and you have a squad like that and you get an injury here or there, you know, you're not together all the time. You can't get them into little camps. I know Filippo is a smart man. He's a real doctor, not a doctor like I am. He's a real doctor. And he's got, you know, he's got Kingsley, the Irishman, going around teaching the guy eyeball where they play for the Caps. I know, you know, there's also the New Zealander Lynn in there that does the attack. So I think he's getting there. For us, it's nervously we've been getting there really close. But getting players from all over and coordinating that is probably the biggest challenge, because we've got about 14, 15 players who doesn't play in South Africa. And it's tougher to manage them within South Africa, where you can just draw guys into a camp, align them. So I think alignment's probably, but he's getting it right, so I mustn't talk too much about that.
Yeah, yes, it's very exciting. It's a massive privilege to be a part of it, to learn, to be here every day, to learn more. yeah, to be part of a test week and to prep for it and to add to it.
Not offer up because it's a privilege to play for the Springboks and nobody, but I mean last year he couldn't play in the Currie Cup final. He's only got 3 caps with us now and he couldn't play in the Currie Cup final and the Lions just lost in the last minute this year. Couldn't play in the Currie Cup final because he's in camp with us now. So sometimes you have to wait and yeah, he's probably one of the guys in the team that's been waiting a really long time and he just really practiced hard and yeah, I think people must just remember that. He hasn't played a lot and he's really missed out on a few big things just for waiting for this opportunity. So we're all very glad for him. Yes, and you know how many, what's the stadium, 50,000 people, I hope it's full. But you know, we know there's millions of people in South Africa and when we're on that side, we feel it. You know, we do read social media and we do read emails and WhatsApps and what's being said and podcasts and stuff. We do listen to stuff like that because we want to hear what South African people are thinking. And yeah, it's our last game at home. But the people from Bloemfontein and Cape Town and so on are not here. It's just, there obviously some people will be traveling here, but yeah, we'll try and finish it up on a high. But next week is going to even be more tough away in London. But yeah, it's for all South Africans, so every weekend we try our best.
Yeah, yes, for me, it's firstly, yeah, it gives a lot of confidence. We said like, yeah, if the coaches back you, I believe I've been given everything to be the best player in the world, then who am I to doubt myself? So yeah, it's a huge motivator. It gives me a lot of confidence just to go out there and be myself on Saturday. Yes, yeah, it's been amazing. All 3 of them that's in camp at the moment has been amazing over the last 2 years. Faf and Kobus is 2-time World Cup winners, Lions winners. Grant is a World Cup winner. And everybody has so much insight and the nice thing is they're willing to share and also buy into making me better. So I'm trying to be a sponge, learn from them, but also just to add myself, to be myself and to add to the team what I can add. So yeah, it's been yeah, great. Like because I said, it's been missing a lot of games and stuff, but the system allows you to grow, and I 100% believe the training sessions, the meetings, the learning, it makes me a better player. So yeah, I'm very, very excited for the weekend.
Yeah, no, I definitely think I think 2 years ago I remember when Australia had to beat New Zealand and they just had to kick the ball out. And then they took too long to kick the ball out. If they won that match, we just had to beat Argentina and win the Rugby Championship. But then we had to score 42 points. I think it was here in Durban as well. We had to score 40 points difference. So, and that game we started chasing our tail a little bit. So yes, we won't make that same mistake. It's for us to win first. But we will know what happened in the Australia-New Zealand game. But I mean, 4 points will be still in the mix. Whatever happens in the other game there, you know. So, and then Australia and New Zealand must play one another again. So we're going to play a test match. We're not going to play expansive running and trying to score more than. If it happens, great, but they will try and do the same. No, we're going to play a test match. Yeah, you know, we've chatted a lot about that, and I'm sure they've played here. Also, it was 2 years ago, I think, that we played against them here, and you know, they handled it well. And we've been training the whole week in it. I see they also trained in the Midfield there at the stadium. So you get used to that during the week. And you know what you hear from the local boys who plays here. Sometimes we play in the rain. You know, the Barbarian game in Cape Town was in the rain. I think all 3 Krappies' games that he's played has been in the rain. He's never had a dry game that he's playing. So, yeah, it's just something that will definitely stifle the attack a little bit, and we have to manage that. Last year, yeah. Well, it's one of the hottest places in the world. That I remember when we 12 o'clock, we wanted to get out of the hotel. It was, I don't know, it was like 40 degrees or something. And then in the match, yeah, it's just the passion of that old stadium and how Argentina feel about their country, and when they sing the anthem or the anthem, yeah, and then when they bring that passion onto the field, we feel it's a lot like South Africa. But no, we were surprised. It's almost like I'm saying this in a positive way, when you go to Kimberley or you go to Welkom or something like that, it felt, not that I say the city is small, but it was very, very intense for us there, and we learned a lot from being tight. And we lost with 1 point, I think, I know 2 points, I'm not sure, but they outplayed us on the day, and yeah, it was a humbling experience, knowing that we sometimes think we can go to small places and we're the tough country, but then you go there and you see the people go through the same stuff. So yeah, we got a bit of a reality check there.
Yeah, I think for me it's an absolute privilege to be here and to serve the Springboks. Every week is a new week, and what's required of me, I'm going to do to the best of my ability. And at the end of the day, the worst case scenario is you're playing or you're training against the Springboks the whole week, which can only make you a better player. And then you really try to make the Springboks better. So, yeah, maybe 1 or 2 decisions, or unlucky, I don't know what you call it, but yeah, for me, it's serving the Springboks.
Just on the Curry Cup, I mean, both of those, are you happy that you missed them, or are you sad that you weren't there to help them?
Obviously my heart breaks for the Lions. In those, as a player, you wish you could have added, but the boys that played had the honor and they had the chance to put on their jersey, and yeah, it's like I say, all I can say is my heart breaks for the Lions, and yeah, the boys just got to stand up.
Yeah, we chatted a little bit. Obviously, he's travelled a lot, and we just talked about the difference in psyche, the ways football players think. The same when we chat to the cricket coaches, you try to learn a little bit how they manage people and manage pressure, and do they feel the same stuff that you're feeling, and do they also get the doubt sometimes that you get, and try and keep the self-belief that, and just sometimes nice to, where did he go? Did he go to Congo or Cameroon? He goes Cameroon, and he just told me about the interesting personalities and sort of cultural things he had to manage there, and how it differs from country to country. And then sometimes it just gives you a little bit of, okay, now he's going through the same feelings, he's got the same, sometimes, doubt your decisions a little bit, and sometimes, it gets to you, and other times you tend to handle it. So yeah, we had a good chat, and we keep in touch. He doesn't really, in our team, I don't think any of our players or our management take him serious. With all respect, and he's an elderly person, and he's been around the block, and I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of respect for him. But we see him, they use him as clickbait, and if that's what he wants to do. I mean, we don't comment on other teams, what their team selection is like, and how they play, and how they should combine their teams. And I know he's an island, but he's Australian, so does he represent the way Australia think or island think, so we hear it, but we laugh at it. Ek dink Argentinië is definitief tougher in Argentinië. Daar's geen twyfel daaroor, Steven. Ek meen, dis 'n feit. Ons het al 'n paar keer, 2 keer gevoel waar ons selfs die laas jaar se game het ons nou met 'n punt verloor, maar ek dink in die game was hulle oor ons in daai game gewees. Ons was lucky om net met 'n punt te verloor. En die vorige keer het hulle ons daar 'n goeie pak slaag met meer as 30 punte gegee. So ons vind hulle baie taaf daar, maar ek weet nie of jy gekyk het en ek dink dit is in die Britse eerste leeu's of in Australië, alle Argentynse supporters wat daar so was en hoe hulle gesing het. So ek dink ons het oor die 50,000 kaartjies verkoop vir daai Londen wedstryd, en hooplik sal baie Suid-Afrikaners. So hulle speel ons eers hier in Suid-Afrika, en ons dink hulle gaan baie taai wees. So daai neutral venue help ons miskien 'n bietjie, maar as ons nie verby hierdie Saterdag kom nie, dan tel daai Saterdag niks nie, maar eers hulle is definitief, in my opinie, baie tawer in Argentinië. Nee, jy's reg. Nee, ons kyk verseker na hierdie wedstryd. En ons het na laas naweek se wedstryd kyk, en in die vorige een na die Auckland wedstryd. Selfs met die 2 Australië wedstryde. Ek dink regtig seker net in die Barbarian game en die Georgia en die 2 Italië games kon ons bietjie regtig rondmanoeuvre. Maar nee, ons kyk om hierdie wedstryd te probeer wen. En weet ons, as ons 'n span kies, dan dink ons daai span op die dag kan daai oppositie wen. En soos ek bietjie vroeër in Engels gesê het, Ons dink regtig hierdie Argentynse span is 'n energieke span, 'n klomp 7 spelers. Hulle het baie diversiteit in terme van hulle afrigtingspan. In Nieu-Seelander 'n Ierse ou en Filippo is 'n great van alle tye daar, so dan hulle lobbe wat die lyn staan en doen. Hulle is regtig well organised, goeie forwards en hulse klomp bouncy backline spelers. So hierdie span wat ons gekies het, dink ons is die span wat hulle op hierdie naweek gaan probeer kan wen.